Disaster. GM, we are live. Had a bit of a fiasco this morning. I brought my whole setup in. I'm not in my room. I've been exiled from the office by my wife, who has a real important work meeting, and unfortunately, it's on camera. And I forgot my adapter for my microphone to my laptop, so I'm on the default mic. I'm hoping to get that fixed when that meeting ends. I think it ends at 9. So I apologize. I'm not going to sound that great. I also have a cold. So we're we're really fighting against the elements here. Kevin asks, "What happened to you? You're letting yourself go after 2 weeks of NFL action." Kevin, I'm sad that you have to see me like this. I'm really struggling. I'm under the weather. I'm battling through it, but I want to be here for you all. So thanks, Kevin, for coming by. Despite the fact that I look, sound, and feel pretty not great. Huhame, sup fam, GM to you. Thanks for coming in. Joel, GM to you as well. Likewise, Steven, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Al Boogie, GM, Crander, GM. Yeah, what a wake up best ball Chad in exile. Yeah, that's I should have titled it that. Will Chad return? Will he be allowed back in the office to grab his adapter? I was so upset with myself as soon as I went to go live. I'm like, oh my god, I don't actually have a microphone here. GM to you, Greg. Hey, thanks so much coming in, hanging out. Kevin, yes, I appreciate that. I hope to feel better soon too. And I think I'm on the upswing, but we'll see. GM to you, Greg. Jake, thanks for coming in, popping by this morning. Appreciate the support as always. Thank you, Greg. You're going to be joined by Hampton in exile. Rookie's got fumbleitis already. So I'll confess, I did not get to watch that game, although I should have, because I felt terrible. I took Sudafed before bed. Terrible idea. I could not sleep. I didn't get to sleep till 1, but I didn't want to look at my phone or watch the game. So all I did was not watch the game, and I also did not sleep. So I got the worst of both worlds. But yeah, by all accounts, Hampton is not where we had hoped. Hampton is not where we had hoped. It doesn't seem like Genty had the world's greatest game either. Although, I mean, the Chargers defense is pretty tough, but I think we're all hoping for a little more. I think we're all hoping for a little more out of him there. Hampton not beating the Latavius Murray allegations. Yeah, Najee season. We were all laughing at the people who took Najee in the 60s on DK, and like they might have end up getting home. I don't think it's gonna be that severe, but it has not been great. Best bond called GM6. Hey, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Let's see what a DBQ is. Let's see what a DBQ is at. These have been firing. No, we're waiting for 10. All right, let's just do a regular old battle royale. Let me get a little bit of here. Let me hop in the battle royale, and then I'll get the audio stuff sorted. Again, apologies for the audio. I don't know how I sound. I imagine not good. And the audio is probably also bad. So let's see. All right, that's nice. That's nice. And then let me see. I updated the advance rate tracker yesterday. No, this is not right. That's actually wrong. I have 28. I have 28 BPM teams advancing, which is pretty good. So I think I'm at like 18%. All right. All right, there we go. We got the advance rate tracker rolling. We're back in the bottom left where we belong, and we are in here at the 5 hole. Let's catch back up with chat. Imagine an ACC running back not being worth the 3rd round price tag. Well, we were all A, excited about the prospect, and B, thought the landing spot couldn't have been better. And now it's like, oh God, I don't know. It's making me a little nervous. I got to be honest. And I have a fair bag of Hampton. Joel says you sound fine, bro. Hey, thanks, Joel. All right, glad I don't sound too terrible. Huhame's saying the Min Cincy game is a 41.5 over under feels low. I thought when I first started reading that you were going to say like in the high 30s, because it's going to be Browning versus Wentz. I don't know. It depends on what Browning shows up. We've seen him competent, and then we've seen him also look like a CFL quarterback. But I would say I'm not like fading Jamar Chase. I am very worried about T. Higgins. I think T. Higgins is going to see a bit of a fall off. I don't know if it's a 3-month injury. the Bengals are live to bring someone in. Kevin noting you sound as misguided as ever. Okay, good. I'm good. I'm glad the audio isn't fooling anybody. So I I appreciate that, Kevin. Let's see what the room hands to us here. Jonathan Taylor up at the 4. I actually quite like Jonathan Taylor this week. He was down at 9 when this contest opened. His ADP is at 6.1, so that's actually risen quite a bit here. So we'll take a Jonathan Taylor share. Excuse me, a Saquon Barkley share. I'll keep the board up, except when I'm picking, because I can't do that. Let's get Puka. That seems good. Puka versus Saquon. Get a little Rams Eagles game. Although personally, I think this game might be kind of gross. I'm going to be doing a lot of BR, so I don't want to not have this very obvious, first 2 clicks like in any. I don't want to be fading that entirely. Terrence Hampton is a smash next year. This year, he's not allowed to make mistakes. Yeah. We'll see. It's also week 2, right? Like we have a massive tendency to overreact. Or when we're drafting, we're like, okay, they're probably going to split carries early, and then by week 9 or 10, Hampton will have the backfield, and then week 2, it's a split, and we're like, it's all over. Like, I think we're gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be okay here. Who Ames agrees with the Chase Higgins assessment. Yeah, I'm definitely worried about I'm definitely worried for the Higgins bags for sure. Tieran says it should be a rough go for Hampton drafters. Genty look good. Raiders are just uncommitted to the run. Yeah, Terrence, I need to watch the game. But it does seem like they must not have been super committed if Genty's stat line kind of was where it was. Although I did see they were Zamir White was getting some carries in, like, I think rather important times. So that just seems like Pete Carroll trying to be the smartest guy in the room and then predictably being like actually the dumbest guy in the room. Kevin says Voldemort was already silently killing lineups. Now it will be fairly loud, informing us, of course, that Higgins is Voldemort, for those who weren't aware. Well, but Kevin, I had a full fade on Higgins last year, and that worked until I got absolutely dusted in week 17 in all my finals teams. I had no Higgins, and so I, did not have any big cashes. So I said I'll be at market in Higgins. I don't want him to kill me, but yeah, I'm not never been a huge Higgins fan. So we got Saquon and we got Puka. Let's see. What do we want to do? There's some really good scroll down running backs. I like Drake London as a bounce back against Carolina. That's something that I've been targeting. I like Jacobs against Cleveland. I know Cleveland just kind of shut down Henry, but I think that was kind of a weird, kind of fluky situation. It wasn't like the Ravens weren't moving the ball or got down to the goal line. They just decided not to give it to Henry. Let's do Tyler Warren. That's kind of fun. There's enough scroll down running backs to where, there's a lot of good options. I really should be taking Javonte, but I just can't bring myself to take Javonte ahead of Chase Brown or Jordan Mason. That doesn't seem right to me, but I don't know. I mean, Chicago's defense looks kind of god awful. Mason against Cincinnati feels kind of like a smash. His ADP started out in the undrafted range, and now he's going to be drafted in most contests, but he goes pretty late here. Krosky Merritt I really like as a deep scroll. I don't mind Tony Pollard as a deep scroll. I think Jaylen Warren has life as a pass catcher against New England if you want to go into the into the depths. Judkins if you want to take like a massive flyer. Nobody's taking Judkins. I think that's somewhat intriguing. I might get a share of Judkins or two. Maybe that's more of a dog bowl click, but it's probably going to be a terrible game script. But if it's not, maybe they keep it close. We see more Judkins, or it's a complete blowout and they're just like, all right, we're just going to give the rookie all the run and he catches some passes and makes some things happen late. So we will see. Huham says Dylan Laube was there for the have to have it place in fourth. Oh my God, Dylan Laube, our king, Dylan Laube, last year's Slappy King. Yeah, it was not good last year because in the big board, I think I had 40% Dylan Laube, and he fumbled his first snap in the NFL and then went to the deepest part of the shadow realm. So this guy has 2 running backs and 2 receivers. So I know I need a quarterback, but I'll take my quarterback second. The question is what do I want? Let's go to these scrolly running backs here. Kamara is interesting as well. Let's take a Krosky merit share. I think he's a guy that should be drafted a lot, and he's like down in the deepest reaches. So I think if we can get a very low owned Krosky merit, Eckler's gone. I mean, I don't know if Washington's going to have Daniels or not, but I think regardless, I'm not really afraid of them not being able to do anything against the Raiders there. So what quarterback do we want? We could do Penix with London, but I kind of feel like for the upside, let's make this, my God, if I could type, dear God, a Daniel Jones team. Let's do a weird little Daniel Jones, Tyler Warren one. I mean, Daniel Jones has been really good this at the beginning of this season. He's not going to be owned very much in this contest. We'll pair him with Warren. So we'll try something. This is going to be a pretty, I don't think I really have to worry about dupes with this team, but I think we've got a few upside swings that we can tell ourselves. I mean, you can take Daniel Jones naked. He doesn't even have to be with Warren if you want to end a team with Jones. But, we see people not afraid to scroll. We've got Jake Browning going with the Jamar Chase drafter. So, if you think you're going to get an unowned Jake Browning, there are people willing to do this sort of to do this pairing there. Let's see what other people are doing. We got Herbert with McCaffrey, we got Dak with Lamb. So no one going too far afield. Again, if Jaden Daniels doesn't play, this guy will get a sub in. And if he does play, it's going to seem pretty nice getting Jaden Daniels in round 4 of BR. Crander says either Chip or Geno possibly. Both really wanted to chuck it deep to the exclusion of everything else. Yeah. I don't know why you would do that against the Chargers, but well, that's, I don't know. Terrence says I like the Carolina game this week. Yeah, I don't mind that game either. I think there's big bounce back potential for the Falcons, who they had a tough matchup last week. They kind of disappointed a little bit. I thought that game was going to shoot out, and then it really didn't. But I do think against Carolina they're way live to shoot out. Yeah, I agree with you, Terrence. Greg says did see some Genty clips where he looked completely lost in the play if he isn't getting the ball. Yeah, a little bit. I was kind of like listening to the audio for some of it. The announcers were terrible. The announcers, you had no idea what was going on. They would be like, they wouldn't say how far anything went. They would kind of leave weird gaps. They were not good, but it did seem like Genty had like whiffed on a few blocks and stuff that he needed to be doing. Terrence says Raiders offense should be run through Genty. The OC is trying to feature Geno and not Genty. That's a big mistake. Yeah, I agree. Huhames agrees that they are operating backwards. This slate has a top 3 and then 3 really good. Then it's a mess. This particular BR slate, Huhames, because for me it's like Bijan and then CMC and then a slight tier break down to Taylor. And then it becomes a little more choose your own adventure. I'd probably put Lamb in that top tier as well. That's kind of where I'm at there. Best Ball and Call says, which is weird because it's Chip. Who says, I agree with both. I was talking about Carolina. Gotcha. Yeah, no, I like that game a lot. I have been doing a few, I haven't done a ton of dog bowls, but I have a couple Penix, London teams already in that one. Let's see where, speaking of the dog bowl, let's see where we're at. Because the best time to do a dog bowl is when you're loaded with cold medicine and you're struggling to keep it moving forward. All right, let me sit in here for a second. See, sometimes these like people start piling in if there's another one that like ends. So let me sit here for a second. I also realized I never tweeted out that we were live. So let me do that. If anyone wants to hop in this dog bowl, we're waiting for 4. We're waiting for 4 live over on RT. All right, hold on. Bear with me. I hope this typing isn't super loud because I'm using the native mic on my laptop, and it's probably pretty miserable listening experience. All right. Shirley. All right, there we go. All right, we're back. Joel says, I'm terrified Raheem Morris actually thinks his defense is good and wants to be a ball control team. Yeah, these teams that don't have self-awareness are always super frustrating. Hey, Skeletor, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. We are here. This has started. We're in the 11 hole. Oh, we got some friends and family in this room. Let me catch up with chat, and then we'll see who's in here. But there's a lot of you guys in here scooping my EV. You love to see it. I will say, speaking of EV, the Dog Bowl qualifier, one of the Dog Bowl qualifiers, I feel bad I didn't catch his name, was on the Badge Bros winner's circle, and he won with a Lions double stack with an Odunze bring back. And I was in the room. I was in his Dog Bowl room. I was in the 2-hole. I had Jahmyr Gibbs, and I picked DJ Moore. And I remember that draft because I was alternating between DJ Moore and Rome Odunze. And I took DJ Moore, and then Odunze went to him, and he picked him, and he went to the Dog Bowl. So, I mean, you end up in a room with me. I make bad decisions. Good things happen for you. That's my plug to you all. So I'm super happy for him because I wasn't going to the Dog Bowl last week. So, just glad to play a small part in, my mistakes leading to good outcomes for other people in there. Huyen says, Barkley, 500 yards, 4 touchdowns versus the Rams in 2 games last year. He and Bijan a clear 1-2. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm definitely not fading Bijan this week. And yeah, you reminded me of that last stream, and that certainly could be a massive smash again. I mean, Barkley's he's always live to just absolutely destroy a slate, and certainly showed that last year against the Rams. Greg said, watch some Scatterbo clips. I might be prepared to admit I got that wrong. Did not think the battering Ram stuff would play in the men's league. It does. Praying for your guys' health because it does look like he's speed running the CTE simulator. Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. Like, he runs hard. He runs really hard, and he's a high motor player. He's not fast. Never said he was fast, but I mean, that plays in the NFL. You don't have to have blazing speed. I mean, if you hit the hole and you're hard to tackle, and you have a 30-yard gain with dragging dudes behind you, nobody's complaining about that. So I don't know. I'm so bullish on Scatterbo. It seems like he's actually usurped Tracy for all the high value touches and is starting to eat more into the base work. I think he actually out-touched or out-opportunityed Tracy last week, and I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's wheels up for Scatterbo, but again, I saw the bear case. I mean, I understood what people were saying. I just was a raging bull on Scatterbo this year. All right, so pick 11. What do we want to do here? And I do not like this range. Good God, this is so brutal for me. I don't like Jefferson. I don't really like Genti here. This stinks. I actually hate the end of this draft. I haven't drafted from this side of the board yet. I'm inclined to just take Chase Brown, I think, against the Vikings. I mean, if they're ineffective with Carson Wentz, I think Chase Brown is live to see a huge workload. And I also think that with Browning, they might lean on the running game more, which is going to be more Chase Brown. This could be an ugly game. This could be a bad pick. But I just have such a tough time getting to Jefferson with Wentz. I mean, maybe that's a mistake and I'll come around to him later in the week. But right now, I'm just not really super into that. I don't know. I don't know what you all think. I don't know how you're all playing the backside of the board. I think the front side is definitely, I don't want to say it's better, but it's definitely a little easier to draft from. So we'll take Chase Brown there. With our next pick, I'm likely to take one of these receivers. Nico Collins, 10 minutes into the game last night, everyone said Nico's back. He ended up with only 3 receptions. He just started off like a house of fire. Playing Jacksonville, that's somewhat intriguing to me. I've been leaning on this Drake London stuff. Tempted to go back to it. Jags defense, though, is just so god awful. Let's do Nico. No, I'm going to live my truth. I'm going to take Drake London. I think he's underpriced this week. I think we see a Drake London bounce back. So we're going to do that and go with God there. So we got Chase Brown at Drake London. So let's see who's in the room. We've got JT Binninger. He's here at the 2. We've got our friend Kevin. He's in here at the 6. He takes Bucky Irving up there. We've got our friend Skeletor, aka Drinking Bleach. He's on the clock at the 9. He's got Josh Jacobs. Let's see who he pairs him with. Whohames says, was always Scatabo season way too early victory lap. Yeah, I know, but it's running out better than I even had hoped it would, to be honest with you. So I am so excited. I mean, it is. I did not think we would already be talking about week 3 Scatabo as the lead back. I mean, it was like my dream scenario, but even I didn't want to say that because it just seemed like it was going to be a slower burn once the hamstring happened. Before the hamstring, I said he could start the year having eaten the job. Well, once he missed so much of camp, I was like, all right, this might be a slow burn, but no, we're a steaming train right now. Joel says, Wentz as a trucker. I'm full on JJ. Yeah, I mean, maybe I shouldn't have passed on Jefferson. I don't know how I want to play that yet. I do know I like Chase Brown and Drake London. So, I'm going to do a lot of these. I just kind of want to get a feel for some of these rooms. And, I do have 2 guys I'm pretty excited about on the team there. Cranter says, maybe involve the rookies instead of Justin Watson. Yeah, I agree. The Texans playing Watson and Hutchinson ahead of Higgins and Knowles. I mean, so many teams in the NFL are like that, where they just like value incumbency and veteranship. But also we don't see everything in practice, so it's hard to know. Hey, B-Spurf, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Appreciate the support. Again, I messed up and I don't have my proper mic set up, so I apologize if I sound bad. And I'm also on a hefty dose of cold medicine, so it's we're fighting through it. We're fighting through it today. Jordan Mason here at 20. Man, he was when this ADP first happened, it got ported over from the playbook, and he was in the 60s. And I was in multiple rooms trying to get him late, and every room I was in, it seemed like everyone was in there to get Mason early, and so he was going in the like 3rd round, even though his ADP said it was like 65. So I didn't actually get any of that like really good value. I don't know if anyone actually did, but Mason all the way up at pick 20. I think we're going to see him probably settle around there, to be honest. That doesn't seem unreasonable to me. Whoever says, Joel, I really like JJ this week, just don't want to get too much. Yeah, I feel like he might fall too. Like I don't know. But maybe he is going to stick out. Like, what's his ADP? It was like 9. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, he's going to live at the back half of the board, so I'm sure I'll get more cracks at Jefferson here. Hartman, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. We're rocking and rolling. We got a little dog bowl qualifier going. We'll see if we can't make it to Kansas City. Dirty P says week 3 Scat, Mason, and JCM. That's a win for Slappy's. Too bad I didn't draft these tertiary receivers that keep hitting. Yeah. I wish I was more in on Wandale. That seems like a good pick. And I was like, I'll just take Slayton in the last round. And Slayton's ass. And Wandale's like is doing so much. So I don't know. I remember Slayton in multiple like showdown slates, like going absolutely nuke, and seemed like he was the more upside swing. And it turned out that Wandale was actually Wandale, who was the kind of boring, 8 receptions for 34 yards, was actually the like upside swing. All right, so we're coming around. I'll go over everyone's team probably at the end. We're at pick 35 and 38 here. The guy next to me could take any position, so we can't decide pushing based on that at all. Let's see, what wide receivers are we looking at? Ibuka, AJ Brown, Metcalf, Debo, DJ Moore. Interesting. Our running back selection, there's still some good options on the board here. Tight ends, I think at this point we can just push tight end to the end. Might just take Kamara. I mean, the role was really good. Seattle is a tough matchup. I mean, I'm a little worried about Spencer Rattler now having to play in Seattle. That seems kind of bad, but it also seems like they've built the plane out of Kamara, and Warren. Jalen Warren was able to find success through the air as a running back against Seattle. So maybe we can PPR scam our way through a life and I get that. Now the question is, I think Debo, right? I think Debo's pretty intriguing to me. Let's do a Debo Samuel team. We're obviously going to be a little bit limited as far as the quarterbacks we take if we don't want to make another Penix team. It's going to be a little bit of a decision for us, but I think this is fine. This core of Chase Brown, Kamara, Drake London, Debo Samuel, this feels pretty good. This feels pretty good. I wish I had a little bit more of a team bet on somebody, but that's not really the way that this back half of the board played out for me. Hartman, Wandale doesn't have upside like Slate and my dumbass every single draft. Yep. I was saying the same things, Hartman. I was saying the same things. So I have like 2 or 3% Wandale or something like really pathetic because he just wasn't a guy I was clicking at that point in the drafts. Who says, it's Big Dog dead, 2 weeks, 2 fumbles. I think he'll be fine. I'm just super glad he's not on this slate because he's never that fun for me to draft. So I don't know, but we'll see. Hold on. All right. GM morning peeps. Hey, Go Easy Cards. Thanks for coming in, hanging out. Appreciate that. Hartman, I think Ramondre might have Space Jam power stole Henry's powers. Yeah, Hartman, I don't know if you saw that clip that deep pass for Ramondre was designed for Travion Henderson. And it was like every slappy felt like, it was like Obi-Wan saying like there's been a disturbance as if millions of slappies cried out at once. Like we all saw that on Twitter. So Go Easy Cards. I saw Mr. Candles getting some early TBQ value. Yeah, I liked my teams yesterday. 200 subs. Did we get there? I hope we got there. I'll be pretty happy. Well, I'm already pretty happy. Oh my God. I did. Hey, thank you. Oh my gosh. This is so exciting. Thank you guys so much. This is awesome. I set out a goal for 200 subs early in the summer. I was hoping to get it by the start of football season, but I mean, to me, that felt like a stretch goal. So to be week 3 and hit that, oh man, that's awesome. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out and doing these, putting up with audio issues and stuff. So that's awesome. Thank you all so much. Yeah, Greg, thank you. Let's go. GM, hey, Artillery Frost, GM to you. Thanks for coming in, hanging out. Lego 200. Yes, we got there. And we didn't need a Russian bot farm to do it. We did it for real. Donnie Murphy, GM to you. Thanks for coming in. 200 subs, well deserved. Hey, appreciate it, Donnie Murphy. This is, truly happy to get there. Beastperf, right? Hey, thanks, Beastperf. Appreciate that. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out. Kevin, yes, Kevin was here when I had 8 subs. So Kevin, I know many of you were, but Kevin was in some rooms with literally, it was me and Kevin. So thank you, Kevin. Hartman, congratulations, Chad. Hey, appreciate it, Hartman. That's fantastic. Joel says, awesome, Chad. Congrats. The Artillery Press, the real Russian bot farm is the friends. Yeah, I'm gonna find out like you're all actually Russian bots. I've just been like talking to myself. No, I'm just kidding, of course. But it'd be like some kind of dark, like Dark Mirror episode or something. Discover that everyone on the internet is not real. The road to 1K and beyond. Yeah, people are saying. I got to figure out the next goal. I mean, obviously, 300's kind of a weird number. I mean, I think we go 250 and then straight to 500, but we'll see. That it could be 6 years from now. Let's see. All right, so we're coming up. We need a quarterback. The guy after me doesn't have one. We also need a tight end. What is this guy lining up? So he's got Jefferson and AJ Brown. So I don't know if he's going to make a Carson Wentz team. So he could really take anybody from me. Baker playing the Jets, Caleb against Dallas. Are any of these QBs ones I'd be willing to take naked? Man, I've done that, but that feels gross. Oh boy, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I have one. All right. I got it. I got you, folks. We've got a plan. Here, and it's a little disgusting, but this is a real 200 sub kind of click. We're going to do Bryce Young and Jatavion Sanders. Now, Jatavion Sanders had some of the quietest 9 targets you'll hear in your life. I don't mind Jatavion Sanders as a late scroll. I could still take... Wait, Penix is still on the board, right? Yeah, Penix is on the board. I'm going to take Jatavion first. I think Bryce Young has some potential like spike week as far as a skinny stack for me, more than Penix. I also have Penix London teams. I think there's a greater chance that Bryce Young kind of gets there on the ground if this game like truly goes off. I don't know. I like both of them. I'm not fading Penix. I have plenty of Penix, but I think if I want to do a skinny stack, I want Bryce Young, and if I have Penix, I might want London and Pitts, or like London and Bijan, and like overstack the game. I'm not only going to play it like that, but that's kind of my initial thought there. I'll let this board run out. You guys can see who's drafted. Then I'll review everyone's team who is in here. Who Hames watching Dolphins game right now? A-Chain is such a beast. Yeah, I thought the Dolphins were going to win. I let myself believe. Go AZ Cards. Congrats to Dirty P eliminating my teams. Oh no. Go AZ Cards. I'm sorry, but somebody had to lose. So at least Dirty P got through. Last I checked, I was advancing 15 of my 28 surviving eliminators. So I'm going to have to check that this morning. Who Aims? Dirty P had a rough go in big eliminator. Herbert not seeing lad cost him, pour one out. Oh, big yikes. I only did one big eliminator and it's still alive. I was fading like 30 points from Trey Harris, which I don't believe hit. All right, so let's see what our friends and family did. So we got Skeletor here. He took Jacobs, Nico, Evans, Warren, Smith, and Drake May. Interesting. So I don't know if you took Jonnu and passed on Mayfield thinking no one would take Mayfield, or if you did want Jonnu and then didn't mind the naked Drake May. Interesting decision there. Let's see. Easy is a good high volume player. Let's just see what he did. He took Jamar Chase, Trey McBride, BTJ, Travis Etienne, Juwan Jennings, and Trevor Lawrence. So yeah, he builds a Jacksonville stack. I like that. You know, BTJ has been left for dead. We're drafting him way higher earlier, so don't mind that. Our friend Kevin, he took Bucky, Ken Walker, George Pickens, Dak Prescott, Juwan Johnson, Garrett Wilson. Hey, Kevin, I love this team. This is awesome. I love Garrett Wilson at pick 67. I mean, he might get like every target in that game. And, you know, Tyrod Taylor is at least competent. So I like that. I like this Dak Pickens stack you built out there. So I like the team there, Kevin. And then JT Binniger, he went CMC. He built the Lovecraft combo. And then MHJ, Breece Hall, and QJ. QJ, of course, is incapable of going a game without scoring a touchdown. So yeah, I like the team there. JT, I think we all, good luck to everybody who was in this room. That was not too bad. I'm just going to hop in a regular BR. Again, I don't count these down because it's so easy to end up in an underflow. Yeah, and this one's snap filled anyway. So if I counted it and you got in, you would be number 6. And so we are in here. We're at the 6 hole. Right, let's catch up. Oh man. Some tough news on the eliminator front. Artillery Frost managed to go 0 for 10. Artillery Frost, who was the culprit? It sounds like you probably were overweight. I mean, like Derrick Henry. Like that's my guess, is if you had like a ton of Derrick Henry. I'm sure so many Derrick Henry teams died. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like you were a big Henry guy. He was just the first name that came to mind that would have been like an extinction kind of pick that would have just absolutely sank everybody from the first round. Dirty P Go Easy Cards, they started with 120, was down to 46, down to 22. Well, again, Dirty P, your 22 strongest teams. Let me see how many I have, because I'm pick 6. So what am I doing? Live. That's what I got to click on. Live, best ball, eliminator week 2, 28. If I click load more. Oh, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ugh. Well, that sucks. I thought I had more. I must have lost. I only have 12 teams survive out of 28. So that's a big bummer because going into Monday Night Football, I had like 25. So I had a something went terribly wrong for me in Monday Night Football. But you know what? That's the way she goes. What have I clicked? What have I done? How do I get back to the draft board? Dear God. Okay, we're back. Yeah, that's brutal. Our Huhim started with 75 down to 15. Yeah, so we're in similar boats. I started with 47 and now I'm down to 12, or 48. I'm down to 12. So I got to update my my eliminator tracker because I'm losing teams left and right here. All right. Let's see. Do we want Jamar Chase, Puka? Let's do Puka Chase. That seems kind of fun. So we'll do Puka and Jamar Chase and just take a couple later running backs here. The only issue with going Puka Chase is I don't like Stafford and I don't want to draft Browning, so I have to do something kind of like squirrely at quarterback or do a three wide receiver build. So we'll see what the room comes back to us. Who says I do have 5 advancing first quarter, 2 in the first 3, 2 in first 3 in second. Oh, nice, because that eliminates every week, right? Again, I didn't do any first quarter, but it seems like it's a fun sweat. I wish I'd had more time because I would have liked to have done that one. Joel says, I was theoretically out on taking elite tight end in the eliminator, and all my good teams that got dusted had Browers or Kittle. Do as I say. Yeah, that's brutal. I mean, it felt like elite tight end was a good idea in eliminator to me. Like you have a position that can really separate. But then again, you use a lot of draft capital, and if they are bad or don't separate, then you're like way behind the 8 ball. It might actually just make sense to make that up with volume and just hope one out of your 3 are competent enough and like win the other positions. Dirty P, losing the big eliminator team hurt. Geno Smith is incapable of holding up to his end of his shootout. That sucks. But yeah, I'm pretty sure my big eliminator team is alive here. I only did the 1. Yeah, we got 7, so we didn't cover ourselves in glory, but we did escape our room. Thank goodness there. I actually really like that big eliminator team, so I would have been sad to see it go in week 2. Go AZ Cards, 115 to 57 to 27, crazy week with 110 points advancing and 140 getting eliminated. Yikes. I know, the variance is absolutely crazy. It's absolutely bonkers in that contest. If the room gives me Jacob's Craft, I don't think overstacking is good in this format, but it does intrigue me a little to do some overstacks. Let's see other quarterbacks we can take. I mean, I do feel like this New England Pittsburgh game might be like semi-gross. I don't know if that's the particular game I want to target, but May of course has a little bit of the of rushing upside. Let's see what so Jacobs goes. It's a little unfortunate. I would have liked that. All right, I think let's do Jordan Mason. Gosh, I really don't want to do Tyler Warren, Daniel Jones like every single time. That seems kind of bad. I mean, we're leaving Genty a little bit for dead here. I don't know if I love the 2 running backs facing each other. That's kind of like old school DFS would say not to do this, but you know what? We're going to do it because maybe people still have that in their head that you can't do this. Oh, and I have Jamar Chase. Oh my God. All right. Welcome to the team, Jake Browning. Welcome to the team. I did not like it. I think this is bad. I do not do this in your contest. I just made a grave error. I just forgot I took Jamar Chase on this team. So there we go. Go AZ Cards. Yeah, it hurts when your bad teams squeak through while your good teams die. Yeah, it's such a bad feeling. Artillery Frost. I didn't have anyone over 40%. I think my teams are back-weighted structurally because I didn't listen to the sidekick much on them. Gotcha. Our Al Boogie, 37 limbs left. Yeah, I wish I maxed it because I wish I had more than 12 teams now because I mean, who knows? I might not have that many more than 12 if I maxed it. Chris, hey, GM Candles, you hit 200. I know. I'm so happy. Thank you all so much again for the support. It is awesome. Also, good reminder, if you haven't liked and subbed, you could be 201. The likes help too. The likes help the algo. So appreciate it here. Queeb's asking, what was everyone's highest scoring limb that lost? I can check mine after. Probably in the 140s. 141 for Go AZ Cards. Bruder Artillery Frost. I have 2 first quarter teams advancing. Only did 4. Nice. Advance Rate King. FK Cooler's first quarter was one of the softer formats. Forced myself to play the second one they released. Yeah, it seems like it was soft, right? I mean, people were taking like dead players in it. Like you just had some lineups like I feel like at least one team in a pod was like had no shot, like taking like Rashee Rice and Chris Godwin kind of players. Jake says only one Q left, but I snuck a Hurts Henry team through, so hopefully I have some leverage. Yeah, that sounds like it'd probably be pretty low owned for sure. Go Easy Cards, 30 to 15 to 9. 1Q. Hope to get one to the finals. Good luck. I hope so too. Go Easy Cards. I can't believe I'm taking Jake Browning, but we're taking Jake Browning. Maybe this game shoots out. Huhaim said he thought the total was low. Hopefully Huhaim is correct on that. Oh boy. I mean, there's so many tight ends we could take here. Let's make the Fannin bet. I'm trying to mix these up, so we'll do Browning and then Harold Fannin here. So this team ends up being Browning, Jordan Mason, Chase Brown, Puka Nacua, Jamar Chase, and Harold Fannin. I think this is fine if you're doing like a like if this was in the Deposit Kingdom 3 Max contest, or this was in like the Engage 8. I don't think in the Big BR this is a good idea. I think this is the ceiling I think is a little capped on this, but you know what? Who knows? If since he scores 65 points, this is fine. I just feels a little thin. All right, let me see if I go back to my Elim teams. My best team that did not. Oh, you can't. Why can't you see it here? Do I really have to like click into each one? That's terrible. Lost to Vaporware. I know he hangs out. Yeah. Anyway, this is not. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about my team. So let's just draft. Let's see what a dog bowl's filling at. Waiting for 8. All right, I'm gonna hop out of that and just do rock another BR here. For some reason, I guess you can see that on your phone pretty easily, the highest scoring teams, and not here. I'm waiting for 2 if anyone wants to hop in. Get on in. FK Coolers saying, I wouldn't want 40% Bigsby and just been smart 120, 20 ETN, probably have another 4 or 5. Yeah, games. I played that wrong in all formats. Just not getting too much ETN. Hartman asking, did I do any first quarter? No, I think it's one where if you really focus on it, there's a huge edge, and I felt like I didn't have time to focus, so I didn't play it. But I'm going to try to make that a priority next year. Stephen WC says Elim is going to depend on who you draw. I did 5 teams so far, 1 advanced, and the team score was 1-12. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, some really good teams are going to get knocked out every week, and some really not great teams are going to advance. Beastburf asking, anyone know how ties work in the Eliminator? I feel like this came up and it was like the highest. I thought it was like the highest scoring overall player on the team, but don't quote me on that. That might be wrong. If we still haven't resolved it after this draft, I can try to open the rules for that. That could be wrong, Beastburf. I don't want to like spread misinformation. Go Easy Cards. I have a Jamar Chase team, McBride 1 quarter. I'm excited about. Yeah. I mean, if you survive that and you don't have Burrow on the team, that seems pretty good. Alboogie Jennings establishing himself as the alpha got a lot of my Elim teams through. Yeah. I wish I had taken more Jennings when the injury flood had come. I kind of backed off because I was really overweight Jennings before that stuff. So I wish I had stayed there. I like ended up kind of at market on him. And he was like one of my bigger stands early in the summer. James, this feels like a naked mate. I did not catch up. Go AC Card says maybe bench sports. Beastburf's got to figure this out. Beastburf, do you have a tie? Oh my God. Huhaim's lost in a limb team by 0.08, where my QB got only 11.6. That's brutal. Best of limb was 137, but I have a first quarter where I missed the 2 of 5 with 140. Ugh. That sucks. Yeah. Thanks, Josh Allen. Oh no. FK Cooler's second quarter is on the horizon. Will get interesting between the injury and the buys. Let me take Jonathan Taylor. And let's take Taylor Hurts. We'll do a Hurts team here. All right, I'll pull the board up so people can see what's going on. Huames, I may do a couple second quarter this week. I'm going to work on ranks tonight. Nice. Beastburst says go to BBMDB. Easier to see. Oh yeah, you're talking to me on the Elim stuff. Yes, that's where you can see it. Thank you. Go Easy Card. So glad I got Mason in early. He will end up at the 1-2 Go Easy Cards. I did like 5 yesterday trying to get cheap Mason, and I never got him. I was either like my position on the board, man, I would be reaching, or like he went early in all of mine, even though the ADP was so late. So I'm glad you got some of that ADP value. Greg says, anyone got any 1Q teams advancing? Did 3, but only 1 survived. Hartman in the eliminator. The earlier team drafted gets the tiebreaker. Oh, wow. Okay, wait. Yeah, I'm reading the rules. That is correct, Chad. Highest scoring player. Okay, so now I'm getting conflicting information. But yeah, okay, that's what I thought it was. Chris has lost a couple ties already. Eliminated the highest scoring player. Pain. Yeah, brutal. Oh, I can't believe that it would be a direct. Okay, yeah, no problem, Hartman. There's a lot of this, like. Jake says elim high. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, gosh, Beast Perf, that's brutal. That is so brutal to have a tie, like an exact tie, in a team where we're drafting 18 players to like literally get that. It's kind of crazy. Who aims? I'm debating on scrolling down for Turpin in my only dog bowl queue this week. I mean, he was involved. Buck St. Thomas doesn't lose, and he was famously putting air in Turpin's tires all summer, and the Turpin people are getting there. Jake says first team drafted is if both players have all the same players. Okay. Got it. Gosh, I mean, that's that would be an absolutely wild way to have to break a tie. All right, so we got Hurts and Jonathan Taylor here. So let's try not to also take Warren on this particular team. Jacobs seems good. So unfortunately, if I take Jacobs, that kind of makes Kraft a little squirrely. That makes Warren not my favorite here. I do like Jacobs a lot, though. I'm just deciding what I want to do. All right, let's do Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams here. Devontae Adams as the sort of Jalen Hurtsy bring back, and then we can scroll. I really like Drake London. I'm going to take Drake London. If I don't get Devontae Adams, it's fine. I don't actually care that much. I do really like Drake London, and I think he's such a smash this week. So let's see if we get Devontae Adams, all the better. We are dodging 3 people, I guess 4 people who can still take a wide receiver at this point. Go Easy Cards. I got a few Bijan Mason teams in the DBQ. Oh man, that's awesome. Because yeah, now if you want that, you're gonna have to take him at the hope you get Mason at pick 24, and that's like seems unlikely. Yeah, FK Coors. I was thinking London too. All right, awesome. So we did not get Devontae because the Puka drafter wants to build a Rams double. That's fine. I'm not super fussed about that. Definitely get some exposure to Devontae Adams here. All right, I got to put you on mute. I got to blow my nose. I'm sorry. I'm struggling. I'm doing my best here. Dear God. Okay. Well, we are back. Huaim says, I just looked at the 5 first quarter. I have 2 advancing. 2 advancing have Rashi before suspension. 2 have Aaron Jones. 2 have Eckler. Dodging the QB injuries. No teams dodge a 0. Crazy. Yeah, ouch. I know. I looked at I got a few 5-5-5 tickets that I sattied into, and one of my teams is like scoring a ton of points, and I looked at it and it has like it has Eckler and I think Burrow, so it has 2 like dead spots. I'm like, oh no, like please hold together for me. Yeah, brutal to just lose some of these teams. Kind of tempted to do Tet McMillan. I'm not like super bring backy, but I do like Tet McMillan as a little bit of a scroll. And I think if you have Tet London teams, a lot of those are going to be Penix teams. So we'll get a little different there. I do really like Tucker Kraft. Juwan Johnson's fine. Again, I think I don't know that I have to scroll into Narnia there. So I'll do Juwan Johnson. I don't want to be out on Juwan Johnson just because I want to get like different. This is going to be unique enough anyway, I think, with this team. So I don't have to get super duper crazy. So it's Jonathan Taylor, Jalen Hurts, Josh Jacobs, Drake London, Tet McMillan, and Juwan Johnson. Yeah, a lot of that going around, says Greg, and I agree there. It's a 1 of 4, so 120 probably wins in the first quarter. Again, I I have some FOMO there. Best ball call. Lim loss on a tie feels like the most demoralizing defeat. Yeah, I'm with you. Best ball call. That is such a brutal way to that's a brutal way to lose. I don't know if there's any hope of a stat correction this late in the cycle. Oh my God, Tyler Bajan. What is this guy doing? Why did you take Tyler Bajan? I don't know if this is like a misunderstanding of the Q tag stuff, or if he knows Bajan's gonna be inactive and then gets a sub. Kind of weird. Kind of weird to see that. I hadn't heard anything on Caleb being not playing, so I don't know what this is, unless I like missed a major piece of news. Anyway, people do weird stuff. I don't think that's enough to like toss the draft, but that's I don't think anyone got any value because this guy took Tyler Bajan with his last pick. All right, sure. Just was not expecting to see that name down there. Two people for a dog bowl. Two people for I don't Joel. I don't think they'd throw it out. I think they only throw it out if it leads to someone getting. Nobody benefited from that. Like I don't think they're gonna. I think if they did that in the first round, maybe, but just taking a 6th round dead spot. Joel says I had a BR toss because someone took Brandon Allen. Well, maybe it does get tossed. But I don't know. So we're in here. We got B-Spurf here. We got B-Spurf at the 5. Best Ball Viper, of course, last year's winner is here at the 7. Go AZ Cards at the 11. So, yep. I mentioned earlier, I really do like the left side because I really want one of these elite running backs. I like some of the scroll running backs, but that decision I had to make kind of in this Nico JS. I think JSN was already even gone. This range here, other than Josh Jacobs, if Jacobs is gone, I don't know. It feels real thin picking from the back half of the board to me anyway. But we will see. We will see. All right, go AZ Cards. Losing an adult kickball championship to rock, paper, scissors hurts worse. Oh gosh, what'd you pick? I mean, I hope you. I don't know if you were the thrower or not, but I will take Bijan with apologies to Huhames. I know you are. I know you are Team Saquon here, but I do want to pick on the. I do want to pick on Carolina if possible this week. I think at least a little bit. Dirty P. Speaking of QB injuries, I've just been my full $100 budget and Superflex on Browning. I have Chase. My QBs are Stroud, Lawrence, Robert seems prudent, but I'm a Superflex noob. Okay, I'm also a Superflex noob, but my thoughts are they are very live to trade for somebody, and if they do, then that's not great. I'm also sympathetic to the idea that like QBs are kind of king in that format. So if you can get a starting QB, it's kind of like we'll get them at all costs. So that's my concern with that. And it's also a long season. There's a very good chance we lose another starting quarterback. No one wants to say this, but there will be more injuries. So I don't know. I would defer to that to somebody who is more Superflex savvy. I think we have a few people. I know Huhames is big into Superflex streets. Joel says, I mentioned that before. Greg says, once saw a grown man implode his ACL and MCL playing kickball, completely missed the ball. Oh, you hate to see it. Best ball and call, the missed kick story, brutal. Yeah, that's horrible. That is horrible. And it's like you try to like stay healthy, you try to do something fun, and you like blow out your knee. It's like that sucks. It's like so brutal. Huames, I'm actually Bijan 101, but Saquon want exposure too. Nice. Okay. I definitely will not be fading like this range. So I'm just gonna kind of let the ADP chips fall where they may. I'm gonna plan on doing between 30 and 50 of these, but I might end up more. Actually, it's funny. I did not like last week's BR slate. I did not feel like I ever had a great grasp on it, and my results showed for it. I feel very good about this slate. I like the teams I've made. If I go down this week, then it's like, well, then I was wrong. But I feel like this is a really fun slate. Wow, Jordan Mason at 14. Go AZ Cards, you animal. No more value for anyways. You Jacobs Mason. I mean, I don't mind that. I like Jacobs Mason a lot. Now you don't have to worry about scrolling for running back here. Huhames says, I don't think they trade for someone yet. If Browning plays well, he stays. If he struggles, I think they can move, give him 2 weeks. That's kind of where I'm at, Who Ames, is I don't think they immediately trade for them. There was someone put on Twitter that they were talking to the Giants about Jameis. I don't believe that report. I think that person was clout chasing because that's what like everyone wants to see. And I'm not trying to disparage somebody because maybe they do have good sources, but to me that just felt like I'm going to say what the fantasy community wants and get a whole bunch of engagement on this tweet. Is kind of how I read that. Jake in his novelty streets needs 5 for the afternoon playbook. Go help Jake out if you want. Hop in the playbook. Hold on, FK Coolers. Let me make my pick and then I will pull that up. Sorry, I don't want to drop the Bijan baby over here. Let's see. All right, so what do we want to do? I don't know if I want to go Hubbard against Bijan, but I also don't hate Hubbard against Bijan that much. All right, let's see what old Dave does. I'm pretty into this Odunze Pickens thing, and then building like a DAC team, but I think a lot of people are easily do that. Dave could take one of them, so I'm trying to think of what else I want to do. I don't mind Ted McMillan. I think he'd be fine. So Jalen Hurts goes. That's actually would have been a pretty strong pick there, I think. All right, I'm going to take Pickens first. I'd rather, if I only get one, I'd rather it be Pickens than Odunze, I think. But hopefully this guy decides to go a different direction. I also really like Devontae Adams. So there's a few different places we could take this team. But I do like this, I know it's a little bit of recency bias. I think playing in Chicago is not going to be as friendly as playing in Detroit or in Dallas. But I do think this game is live to be kind of a shootout. I don't think the defenses are great. I think both running games kind of suck. So we could see both teams kind of air it out. So let's do that. It feels like one of those game stacks that just kind of builds itself on one of the turns, and I don't want to ignore when it presents itself. So we'll pick that up. All right, FK Coolers, let me go back to what you said. Yeah, I think if they add for depth, not a starter. Browning has been there 3 years and did okay last time he was forced. Does it make sense to bring in Jameis? Yeah, I think that's kind of the prevailing wisdom, but I also would not be surprised if they know Browning better than anyone. And again, I just go back to preseason. There was some chatter about him possibly losing that job, and not he was not good then. But I think they have years of actual game tape to look at versus preseason stuff. But I just worry that it's a little less settled than spending all of your fab on it. But again, I wouldn't want to miss out on the Bengals starting quarterback in Superflex if I could get them. I'm just worried that it by the end of the year won't be him. Joel said there was a report the Bengals made a total lowball offer for Malik Willis. I had not heard that. Go Easy Cards. If Browning throws the ball 16 times to Chase each game, you better leave him in. Yeah, that is the hope for the Chase folks. Dirty P, the only QB that worries me is Jameis. I just don't think. I think the Giants weirdly like their trio of quarterbacks in the room, and Jameis seems like he's happy, and if he's a good locker room presence, why are they going to move him? They're going to go to Dart eventually. I don't know. I'd be surprised if they moved him. I don't know why. They just seem to like what they've got there. Kind of sucks we don't get to chase Scatabo this week. It's actually probably good for me, Who Ames, because I would be jamming Scatabo every time. At all costs. Who Ames, but Kansas City will bottle him up like they do every running back, so he'll be forgotten. Again, more cheap Scatabo, Who Ames. I am the KY. Hey, first of all, thanks so much for coming and hanging out. I think they've pocket a free old guy, Derek Carr from the clouds. Could be. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. They would have to make a trade with the Saints, but you'd have to think the Saints would accept a ham sandwich and bus tokens, because right now they're getting nothing for him. FK Coolers, Derek Carr one time to save the big board. I think I have Derek Carr on one of my. There was $100 3 max on DK, or maybe it was even single entry pre-draft, and I took Derek Carr on that team. I was like, oh no, I didn't even have that much Derek Carr, but I'm just Just no. He like retired like 3 days later or something. My preseason car bags would go crazy. Yeah, let him know, Coolers. We're all in on this. Save Derek Carr. Save Derek Carr. Who aims? I have a big board with Fields, Purdy, and Carr. A bigger board. Yeah. We all need Derek Carr back. We should have gotten Pete. We should have gotten Pete to tell Derek Carr that we all need him. Speaking of Pete and other programs, I'm not sure if anyone's coming on at 10 today. I'm not sure if I may not have it in me to go much past 10 anyway. So we'll see what we got. The cold medicine fog is absolutely brutal, but I do appreciate you guys fighting through. I'm so happy we got to 200. That was, that is fantastic for me. I'm so stoked. And again, thank you all. If you haven't, please like and subscribe. We're now on the road to 300 subs, and yeah, fantastic stuff. We're going to keep on keeping on. Let's see what our friends are doing. Go AZ Cards. He went Jacobs Mason and then added on Metcalf and more. Best Ball Viper passing champ with Bucky McBride and Chuba Hubbard. B-Spurf with Puka, Ladd, and Kyron. So building out a Rams situation. We'll see if he's going to add any Eagles parts, or if this is going to be just more of a single side of that game there from Mr. B-Spurf. For me, Aho Daniel cannot take a quarterback. So if B-Spurf does not take Dak, which would be, frankly, slightly odd for him to do, I think we're going to get hopefully the Fergie Dak double. Hopefully Dave doesn't take Fergie. We'll see. If he does, then I think I got to just take a running back. And there's, I like Krosky Merritt. I think that's fine. I like Warren. I'm a little worried if I pass on the 2 running backs, then I will, the Lamb. Oh, he's got Lamb. Shoot. We might not get Dak anyway. All right. We got to make a backup plan. Why'd you take Fergie? Gosh darn it, Dave. I really wanted the Dak double. That's a big rats. All right. In that case, I think I just jam another Krosky Merritt share because I think he's undervalued. I'm still going to take Dak anyway and just make it a Dak, single, I think. I was looking forward to overstacking that game. I do. I'm kind of woke to the overstack to win these dog balls, but I hope Dave, whatever. We all do what we've got to do. So he does build out a bit of a Dallas bet. I will just take Dak here. I don't think there's any reason to take anyone else or to take a running back. I could have taken Caleb on this team as well, but I think I'm just more into the Dak side of the equation. It's possible I could have pushed Caleb, but go AZ Cards. He's over on the side of the board. He could have taken Caleb because right now his quarterbacks are Caleb and Aaron Rodgers. I certainly would not begrudge anybody who took Caleb over Aaron Rodgers on that side of the board. Or Go AZ Cards could do something completely different, but that was my thought process there. Go AZ Cards with 200 subs. You can stay as long as you want. You earned it. Yeah. Thanks, Go AZ Cards. Yeah, no, don't worry. I won't let the fame go to my head here. You're still going to get the same old Chad Candles who makes mistakes in drafts and has audio production issues. Greg says cold medicine drafts go hard. Yeah, I really I did not think Dave was going to take Fergie. I've thought of he already had Hurts, so I didn't even have to worry about him taking Dak. Cool. All right. Go AZ Cards. I agree. 200 feels like real progress. Yeah. Whohames, when you hit that, I've said, yeah, Whohames is going parabolic over here. Greg says tap into that 3rd or 4th eye even. Yeah. I feel like Paul Atreides with the cold medicine. I can see a glimpse into the future here. B-Spurf. So B-Spurf has officially punted quarterback to the end. So he's got Puka, Ladd, Kyron, AJ Brown, and Hawkinson. I would imagine he is going to take Stafford, but he, of course, he could take Carson Wentz with Hawk. Hawk has been left for dead. So good to see that B-Spurf is still into him because I have big Hawkinson bags and I am scared. So this gives me some. Caleb goes. Go AZ Cards. Instead of taking Rodgers, he does Mac Jones. I have to imagine this is going to be a a Henry pick. No, he takes Tongas. Very interesting pick with Tongas there. So go AZ cards. He goes Nate. Oh, that's not Mac Jones. Okay, that's Mac Jones. I thought it was Drake May. I misread it. I'm like half my screen is cut off, so I thought that said Drake May. He takes Mac Jones with Tongas. That does make sense. That moves from interesting to All right, so he does a late Niners stack Sirac over here. Here's the one that took Drake May. Browning goes to the Jamar Chase drafter. All right. Take Tolbert as written. Yeah. If I could take a third receiver, I might actually take Turpin here. FK Course, interesting slate this week. Basically, every game has a total of 35 to 45, and the Cowboys game's almost 50. Yeah. I mean, again, I would have loved the Cowboys double. I think it's getting too cute to take Cole Kmet here. You got to think that workload's going to split a little bit. If I sort by the underdog projections, it's got Chig, Fannin, Goddard. I'm pretty into like a little bit of a Fannin bounce back. I think Green Bay's probably going to control that game. They're going to have a positive game script and need to throw a lot. I also really like Jatavion Sanders. Jatavion Sanders, 9 targets last game. That is intriguing to me. I do want to be mixing up these bets late. I know I do have Bijan, so again, a little bit of a bring back. I don't want all my Bijan teams to be Jatavion Sanders teams. I think that's like how you make some bad constructions. But let's get Fannin in the team. I mean, he still was pretty heavily involved. That Ravens game was pretty wonky. I'm getting cold Fannin feet, guys. I'm getting cold Fannin feet, and I'm taking Jatavion Sanders. I'm doing it. I'm sorry. I know I said I wasn't going to do the bring back thing every time, but I really like Jatavion Sanders this week with Xavier Legette catching balls for going backwards. Like it seems like, I don't know. He just seems like a possible breakout tight end this season. So I'm kind of intrigued on a Sanders who's going to be owned in less than half of these dog bowl drafts where we're taking 12 players. So B-Smurf, he ended the team. He took Herbert. Oh, he had Herbert with Lad. Okay. I like that more. I mean, even though you're going double Rams, Herbert has rushing upside. I think that's sharp. I never liked Stafford. I feel like his upside's always weirdly capped. So B-Smurf, he ends the team with Herbert. Let's check on Best Ball Viper. We know he's a pretty sharp player. He goes Bucky, McBride, Chuba Hubbard, Kyler, Murray, MHJ, and Olave. So he takes Kyler knowing that MHJ a little left for dead. I love MHJ at pick 55. I think that's really nice. We have completely abandoned him. And then of course Olave. I like that. I like that team that Best Ball Viper made. All right. Let's see. Go AZ cards. Interesting to I want to stay in the interesting realm. All right, go AZ card. Hey, I just tell you what I'm thinking. I give you my unfiltered opinions there. But yeah, I don't mind this. I mean, it's definitely going to be low owned. It's definitely going to be a low owned combo. Greg says the Dolphins fire sale articles are flowing. Just read Tampa Bay is inquiring on what it would take to get Phillips. Oh gosh. The Dolphins cycle of death and rebirth continues. FK Coors Lee gets all Wandale's 2022 and said, hold my beer, on target for 100 and targets at 40 yards. Yeah, not great. Not great. All right, let's see what another dog bowl is at. These kind of have a tendency to kind of chain fill. So this is either going to be, all right, waiting for 3. Let's hang out. Let's do another DBQ. Let's do this. If we have time, I will, I'll do another, just regular BR after, and then we'll probably call it here. Let's see. I'm just checking to see if people are going live. Davis is live at 11 a.m. Okay. All right. If Davis is live at 11, I don't think Pete does not come on at 10 on Tuesdays. So I think we're pretty clear. So if this goes a little long, we are good. We're not going to. Dear God. All right. Anyway, let me know if Pete's going live at 10, please, because I would probably like to be off by then. All right. So we got the pick 8. We've got B-Smurf here at the 7. So sitting next to me. We've got Best Ball Viper at the 12, the famous Patrick Barnes YouTube Dog Bowl qualifier, I believe high finisher. We got Hartman here at the 5. JGFC, seen JGFC around quite a bit. So another tough room. But you know what? We're gonna let's check Beast Burp. No, I'd already read Beast Burp's team, Hartman. I'd already read Beast Burp's team. That's what happened. I had already gone over that. Yeah, that would be pretty brutal. Go easy cards. What I learned in my years as a Cards fan is play tight end versus their defense. It's funny you say that because for many years it was the opposite. Like the Cardinals in the 2010s were elite against tight end. And now it's the pendulum has swung the other way. Who am just looking at my limbs? I eliminated someone who scored 144. Sorry, Benny Boo. Who you didn't catch it because it didn't happen. It's fake news. It is fake news. I think I might have misspoke your name and said I was going to look at Best Ball Viper because I had already reviewed your team. FK Coolers couldn't find anyone going live at 10. All right, sweet. All right, so we've got the 8th pick here. Don't let chat gaslight you. Yeah, that is the gaslighting in the morning here. So we've got Jonathan Taylor going to Hartman. Bijan went as the 101 in this draft, which is where he's been going. Let's see what we want to do here. Yeah, and you can tell by ADP, it's like a little wonky. Like you have two with pick 8, and then it drops to 10, and it's not like a really settled ADP at the top of this at this sort of back half of the first round. So Beastburf takes Bucky. To me, that I should just jam Puka here. I don't think I want to. I don't think I want to get cute. I really like Jacobs, but I feel like Jacobs I'll be able to get with some later picks in the first round. Patrick Bart's YouTube, he takes Justin Jefferson there. FK Core's friend of Stream Baps, Patrick Bards, who aims Hartman wouldn't just make things up. Rewind the tape. JSN goes at pick 10. So yeah, so this back into the first round, we got some choices have to be made over there, and I think we're going to see people do a lot of kind of wild stuff. Best Ball Viper, of course, everything works out for him. He gets Josh Jacobs, Jordan Mason at 13. I can't believe I didn't get cheap Jordan Mason. I did not get cheap Jordan Mason. I would have considered him on this team, but we are coming back around. We've got Puka Nacua on this squad. See what Tubins does. Do we want to go Puka Hurts is, of course, the first question. Do we want to stack that Eagles-Rams game? These Eagles games have been kind of gross. They've been kind of gross. But maybe we do that, and then we just don't have to worry about quarterback. So let's take Jalen Hurts. With Hurts, we don't have to worry about a stacking partner if we don't want to. So we'll take Jalen Hurts. So we'll game stack this one a little bit with Puka and Hurts on there. Greg says, hope I catch one of you guys in the first quarter semi, missing out on all the Elim head-to-head fun. Yep, go AZ cards. I love the Eliminator format, but I have a feeling some will get a sour taste when they only have 10% after week 3 or 4. That's my fear, is everyone's like, this is the best contest. There's so much content. There's all these sweats. And then literally by week 8, there's going to be 3 streamers with 1 team left, and it's gonna be just oh yeah, I lost all my money because it's such a top-heavy format. It is a cruel format, the Eliminator, and you're up against variance and pod luck and a lot of things. It does feel a little like a fancy coin flipping contest, but until you run out of coins, it is a ton of fun there. All right, Greg says, that's why I like the first quarter stuff. Advance rate's awesome, pretty much just the Elim. Yeah, that's, again, I said this a few times now, but I will be doing that contest next year. I'm going to make some time to have some strategy behind it. Joel says, Bengals signing Mike White and Sean Clifford to back up Browning. Is this true? Did Mike White just get signed? Mike White is had one amazing game for the Jets, and everyone fell in love with Mike White, and then he couldn't beat out Skylar Thompson as the Dolphins backup. I don't know. Who aims? I hope not to play any of the crew until finals. I want to meet you there. Yeah, That's the dream there. Who if I meet up with one of you all, I really would rather it be like deep in the contest. Beast Burf, I think I prefer last year's eliminator format. I'm with you, Beast Burf, and that was a big eliminator, and I only did one because it was $100 a pop, and it kind of adds up fast. But yeah, I like that where you're kind of just trying to survive. There's a ton of strategy in just that, and building like high floor teams, but you still like need some element of ceiling versus like I don't like that you can have a team score 144 points and go home. Like that's never going to happen in the old eliminator format. I mean, I'm with you there. I like that too. I think Steve over on Fanspeak, he said so much as well. He was really into last year's eliminator format. Greg says, how was it different? I forgot how long some of you have been in the best ball streets. It's a more recent home league FFPC convert. Basically it was like, these numbers are wrong, but it was like, like 8 of 10, like 6 of 8, 6 of 8, like where you just like don't finish in the bottom 2. It changed every week, so I don't know what they were. Like you would have to pull it up, but it was basically like just don't be the worst or second worst team in your like survive to the next week. Williams, they didn't need to change the format. Adding a new one made more sense. Yeah, I think they were probably just worried about adding too many side contests with how like not great they've done with the marathon and the sprint would be my thought. But yeah, they could have called it something else, like a head-to-head. They could have called it the face-off or something and done that and kept the eliminator what it was. Go Easy Cards. I have an eliminator team that scored 98 points in advance. Yeah, and then you have who? Boo Berry. Boo who did Boo Benny Boo who lost with 144. Absolutely brutal. I'm with you, Who Aims. Remove marathon. Just leave that to drafters. People don't want to do the marathon on underdog. It's I don't know. I'm sure they don't want to like just give up a market, but nobody was excited to play that format here, it seems. All right, so we've got Puka. Interesting choice for me. Do we take a running back? I mean, I like Kyron. I like Pollard. Pollard getting no passing work is kind of brutal, but maybe they do change that. Their Colts seem pretty good, so it's a little scary. I could take AJ Brown with Jalen Hurts, but I'm not actually even sure I want to stack AJ Brown. I'm not even sure I want to stack Jalen Hurts at all. So let me punt that off and take Pollard. Sometimes people are sketched out by AJ Brown anyway, so I'm going to leave that decision for later to see. I'm almost inclined to just do naked Hurts and just hope that it's a tush push kind of week. Because sometimes it does feel like these Hurts skinny stacks, like if they get there, then Hurts didn't really have one of those like nuclear games. And if Hurts gets there, sometimes he doesn't like even bring anybody. So I'll try just naked Hurts for now. If we get Brown coming around, we can decide if we want him. Let's see what folks are doing. So Best Ball Viper, he goes Jacobs, Mason, and then he builds a Sutton Nix. So this is one of those stacks you can build over on this side of the board if you are so inclined. See what running backs are available. I mean, this is like would have been so nice to be taking Jordan Mason in the 40s. Instead, he's at pick 14. We didn't know how good we had it. We did not know how good we had it. This also easily could be a so AJ Brown does go. Ugh. Don't know if I really love Egbuka there. Part of me feels like Debo is the biggest upside swing we could be taking. So I think I would lean Debo. I don't have a reason to take a tight end at this point. So New England's pass defense looks bad. Metcalf is a little bit intriguing. I guess he was intriguing enough for Patrick Barnes YouTube to take. So let's take Debo. Let's take Debo on this team and then see what we can see at running back, or just go double receiver next. Did I miss? Oh my gosh, my chat froze. All right. Greg says a straight up head-to-head contest would be wild. I would be so into it. Yeah, I mean that's I think what they tried to make the limbs. Since no one is on, should we dab a 2Q next? Would be my first one. I have not done any. I have not. I don't even know the format. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Beast Burf. I would think sprint and marathon would get smaller, go away. Yeah, they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to. They're Beast Burf because I'm sure they lost a bunch of money on that. Greg says, I vote that. I need some bye-week strats from the community. Oh man. Don't expect them from me, Greg, because I have not done a 2Q yet. All right, I love how we get to 200 subs and it's the day I like forget my my thing to plug in my microphone. So I hope I don't sound too bad, but I appreciate y'all hanging out here today. Remember, if you can, like and sub, and we'll keep the good times rolling. And Greg says, same here. I do lots of head-to-head and 3-man drafts in the lobbies, but doesn't feel the same. Yeah, I have a really hard time like getting into like those one-off drafts that aren't tournaments. Like it feels like tying up your money for a really long time, and that's probably like a bad way to look at it. But I have trouble there. Who steamed up Mason? How rude. Yeah, we're all looking for the guy who did this. Go AZ Cards. Underdog could have done us a favor when they released the Eliminator over July 4th weekend. Was it Dirty P, forgive me, is it because they released it too late to get into? Go AZ Cards. I feel smart that Viper started the same two players I did that DBQ. I am teaching the greats. You are one of the greats here of Go AZ Cards, and that's why we're gonna see you in Kansas City. We got to get you there. We got to get me there too. So hopefully we can make it happen. Hopefully we can make that happen. So you got Hurts, Pollard, Puka, and Debo. Let's see, Omarion Hampton, he is left for dead here. Nobody wants him. So do we just do another cross key merit? I mean, we could build out a little bit of a bet on Washington without having Daniels. That seems kind of interesting. I don't think anything Vegas showed us should scare us away from that. So I don't mind going Debo JCM and then telling ourselves that Jalen Hurts has a big tush push kind of game. So let's do that. Let's do that because Patrick Barnes is after me. He still can take a running back. I almost was able to push it, right? Like because Best Ball Viper can't take anyone. Milan, he's already got 3 receivers. He can't take another back. Tubins can't take another back, but Patrick Barnes YouTube could have. So I did not want to chance that, especially he's got Bauer. So maybe if he sees that bring back, we'll see if he takes Jalen Warren on his team, but he'll probably take a quarterback if he's paying attention because nobody can take the other skill position players from him. Let's see. Let's criticize Patrick Barnes YouTube. Okay, so he does. He takes a quarterback. He was paying attention, and that makes sense if he gets Geno Bowers there. But again, that's something to note, like to pay attention to your room, see what you can push and what you can't push safely around. All right. Oh, good. Hartman says, I didn't notice the audio difference from normal. Sounds good. That's great. All right. That is good. Greg says, need to do more 3-mans for NFL. Also did a lot for MLB, and it can be a money machine in the $3 rooms. Yeah, I'm sure there is an edge to that because, like, I feel like most people aren't even using ranks on those. Dropping a limb, April 28th, likely nerfed fill rates on sprint marathon eliminator filled like the first week of August. No one got in as many as they wanted. That is true. It probably did cannibalize some of the other stuff. Elim is probably the one contest where you do want to wait to the very end too. Yes. Yeah, because you're probably better off having no dead players versus like ADP value because it's in a head-to-head. Like, I don't care about unique combos in the eliminator. Like, it's almost useless. Like, unless you get like a true ungodly super team. But I mean, that could happen at any. You could draft that in August as well. Like, if you just hit the nuts. Dirty P, I have 1 less team advancing than I wanted. I have 98 less teams. Oh, no. Yeah, brutal stuff here. So I don't think I want Ertz to build a like giga Washington stack. That feels a little bit much. I don't think I want Jig to build a huge Titans stack. I think I'd rather just make the fan and bet here kind of in isolation and hope that we are onto stuff. Again, Dallas Goedert with the Q tag. maybe people aren't drafting him and he might be live, so that might be like a low owned play. In worst case, I just get a tight end fill in. But I don't even know if I love him anyway all that much. So let's check in on what folks are doing. So Best Ball Viper, he goes Jacobs, Mason, Sutton, Nix, and then closes it out with Jonnu and Iomanar. So our first, at least my first Iomanar sighting in the DBQ. Interesting there, but certainly a low-owned scroll who showed a lot of life. Beastbarf went Bucky, McBride, Kyron, DJ Moore, Kyler Murray, and then Devonta Smith. I like the Devonta Smith click as a unowned piece of the of that Eagles Rams game. So he does a game stack, but then QB tight end stack with Kyler and McBride. So I like that. He's got a couple different game bets in one. Hartman, Jonathan Taylor, Romo Dunze, Chase Brown, Calvin Ridley, Caleb Williams, and Hunter Henry. So he does the Caleb Odunze stack there. I like the team. I like what people have done. JGFC, if people are curious, he went 3 wide receiver. He went Lamb, London, and Evans, and then went Dak, Swift, and Ertz. So he does get the Dak Lamb stack. Wonder if he would have planned on taking Odunze at 21 if Hartman hadn't taken him. We will never know. We will never know. All right, sweet. Well, that was a fun draft there. I'm going to hop into another BR if anyone wants to get in. We are waiting for 3, so now is your chance if you want to hop into that. Go AZ cards out of 115. Really wanted 50 or 60 remaining at this point. Yeah, I mean, it's the math just maths, and teams just die. Oh no, I'm hopping out. People want a 2Q. All right. I hopped out. I apologize if you guys got rugged. I will do 1 2Q. I have no idea what I'm doing. but I'm going to do it for the people. The people want a 2Q. So as soon as I can find it, I'm going to hop in. I'm scrolling the heck over here. Dear God, did I miss it? This is so brutal. Oh, there it is. All right. Waiting for four. All right, we're going to do it second quarter. The people spoke. Let it not be said that I am not a man of the people. Greg should have drafted more Wandale cards. So simple. Yep, QJ got hit in the preseason. He was reprogrammed to catch the ball. Yeah, he's back, and we were able to get him for free late, and that was a generational buy. It's looking like. Greg says now we're thinking like football. Fencing reactions are good. Good God. Yeah, second quarter. I got you. AZ cards. Dirty P, I'm banning the letters QJ from being spoken in my presence. If you use Q, I'm going to need a mid 2 characters before the J. Yeah. I hear ya. And then people trying to use Quinshon Judkins as QJ. I'm like, no, you're confusing me. Let's stick with the real QJ. My God, that was close. Yes, we got in this one. Just waiting for one. This is Go Easy Cards first. Whohams, I'm happy with 15, a limp of 75, and 24% Rice, 15 Judkins at Faithful Week. Oof. And now Judkins is coming back. So if any of those survived, you're looking pretty good. Waiting on one. Who will be the hero? Only $5. Yeah, it's like for just $5, you can save this stream. So yeah, let's see. I don't want to get if I play in the arms of an angel, I don't want to get demonetized, even though I'm actually not monetized. But I might get double. I might owe money. That would be bad. Whohams only has 3 surviving Judkins teams. Well, there's not going to be many surviving Judkins team. This is the 1Q is a better version of weekly winner. So all right. This is for the people. So we don't take, so it's bye weeks 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So Bijan is bad. Oh my God. Look, I don't know what you're supposed to do. Am I just supposed to not take people with those bye weeks? That seems bad. I need to advance. All right. Well, we got a real friends and family room, so we'll figure it out together. Hartman asks, you're going to do many of these when it's closer to closing. I'm going to ape into 100 when it's 80 to 90. I don't know if you're talking to me. I wasn't planning on doing any, and I got bullied by the chat into doing it. So we're going to see. This is the second quarter. I thought it was DBQ. I would have doggo qualifier. Oh no, Whohams. I'm sorry. I got bullied into doing a 2Q. Bijan is not bad. Week 8 studs won't play in finals. Poor Kalen 13 about to go in a blender. Yes, we got Hartman here. We got Go Easy Cards. We've got FK Coolers. We've got Greg. And Kalen 13 is about to just get truck sticked. QJ style here. Hartman week 6 is a lot easier advancement than the other two. Yeah, let's see. If I pull this up, does it say? 2 of 12, 2 of 5, 1 of 4, 374 seat final. So only the top 2 make it out. Then it gets like way easier. 2 of 5, 1 of 4 in a final 15K up top. Kind of fun. Let's see if we can't get there. All right. Huhim says, I've done 1 second quarter, got Nico at 21. Where is Nico? Nico by week 6. ADP of 24. My God. Hey, the Gale, thanks so much for coming in. QB's dropping like flies this season. Wild stuff. Yeah, we've had bad QB years before, but this feels like it's happening earlier than normal, which is not great. Not great. Gosh, I gotta like switch my brain into like BBM style draft mode. But we'll see what we can see. We'll see what we can see here. All right, so Chase Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Devon A-Chain. So I mean, like we take A-Chain over Gibbs, right? Like I feel like we have to tie break that. I like both of them, but I don't want. I mean, obviously, if I get to the finals, I'm pretty happy. But getting to the finals without my first round pick seems not great. I don't know. This is a very interesting thought exercise that I put no thought into. So that's kind of cool here. All right, so we've got A-Chain, and then what are we going to do? I also I'm still in such like best ball mode. Like I don't know where the rookie running backs are going. Like, dear God. All right, Puka Nacua goes. Let's take Jalen Hurts because he has a friendly bye week and maybe elite quarterback can get us the heck out of this room alive. So let's take Jalen Hurts here. So we got Hurts A-Chain. All right, let's see. Go Easy Cards. I don't know about you, but Atlanta plays Miami week 8 finals. If I can get Bijan out of the first round, watch out. Yeah, I mean, that seems like a smash if he can survive to the end. One remaining Big E team only, Daniels and Brock Purdy. Oh no, double ouch. RIP. Yeah. I don't know if Daniels is for sure out, so hopefully he's in. I'll say that. Hopefully he's in for you, because that is a tough run out. All right, let's see. So we've got A-Chain and Hurts. Let me check some of the other ADPs, like running backs. So Krosky Merritt, pick 53. Like, I'm surprised RJ Harvey's 58. Javonte 62. Man, this is this is something where having ranks is gonna give you like a massive edge, because I don't think people are putting the effort into this contest at all. So yeah. Hartman, only strategy I could think of is just using game totals and stuff to make a strength of schedule week 5 to 8. Yeah, I think that's like 10 times more effort than like anybody else is putting in though. Alboogie says BBMDB has been updated with BBM leaderboard. Nice. I know I'm not on that, so I don't think any of my BBM teams are like one of those like 350 point teams or whatever the like giga high teams are. But I do want to check it out just out of curiosity. Problem with the Bijan thing, week 5 is hardest to advance. Yeah, that's what it looks like. 2 of 12 is pretty killer. FK Cooler, same here, Hartman, but too early for game 12. I think there's actually look ahead lines for like every game of the year on some books. I mean, I think the liquidity on it's super thin. Like you're not gonna be able to get a ton down, but I think that's out there. But he is RB1. Yep. Just do the small brain thing and don't draft bye week teams. I mean, that's what I've done so far. I took Jalen Hurts because he's got a bye week of 9. And win totals my bad. I do think fully going Bijan and hoping to survive is fine. Build the best possible Bijan teams you can. Yeah, I think if you were maxing this contest 2 games, But I mean, this literally might be my only 2Q team. We'll see. We will see. Go easy cards. I wanted Allen. Buffalo versus Carolina week 8, so Cook is huge as well. Thank you, drafters. See? There goes Cook. There goes Cook. Let's see. Man. All these fun guys are like terrible bye weeks. I mean, Tyreek A-Chain doesn't seem super optimal, but maybe it's not super awful. Mike Evans is fine. I think I was actually going to click Mike Evans. It was too slow. I'm sorry. I've used the whole clock there. I just I don't know what I'm doing. I unironically do not know what I'm doing here. But we've got Jalen Hurts, Devon A-Chain, and Tyreek Hill. So hopefully the Dolphins, are the team you need to survive here if they have a big week 5 through 8. Tyreek Hill may not even be on the Dolphins weeks 5 through 8. We simply don't know. All right, just gonna try to use like building principles from the regular contests here. Tony Pollard, Krosky Merritt, I think those are both pretty live for me to take here. Again, Drake London just skeeves me out a little bit of him being missing that much time. Let's do Krosky Merritt. Let's live a little. Let's do Krosky Merritt RB2. Why not? Week 12 is going to be bad, but this team won't exist then, so we're fine. Tony Pollard was my next possibility choice there. Let's see what the best and brightest are doing. We've got Mooncat here, aka Greg. He's got Neighbors, Breece Hall, Chuba Hubbard, Tony Pollard, FK Coors. He's got Jonathan Taylor, Josh Allen, Alvin Kamara, and Ashton Genty. A pretty strong start there. Go easy cards. So he takes the Bijan bet, and let's see if he can survive with Bijan, Ladd, Cook, and Pickens. Okay, George Pickens. So again, avoiding the additional week 5 bye here makes sense. And then Hartman, he started with 3 receivers. He went CD Lamb, AJ Brown, and T Higgins. Hartman not afraid of the T Higgins potential fall off on his crew there. All right. Hartman, yeah. Who knows if we'll even be alive next week? Yes, we've got the Shanahan coaching tree of more morbidity on these teams here. These weeks Q2 teams. All right. This is tough because I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing. So Hartman, he then adds Deebo Samuel to the team. I mean, very strong wide receiver room. Let's see if he decides to keep on pissing or if he's going to take a running back. He takes RJ Harvey there. So he goes 4 receivers and 1 running back. The only true piss boy in the room is Mr. Hartman. All right. Go easy cards. No one wants week 8 buys, but I'd be okay taking Kyron to help my Bijan and Cook teams advance from their bye weeks. Yeah, I think that's sharp, right? Like, I don't think it's correct to completely avoid the bye weeks. And it may just be wrong because that's what like the default strategy is, and that's like a lot of teams are going to do that. I don't know. It's very interesting, but I mean, obviously you do want to avoid bye weeks to one extent or the other. I think avoiding week 5, as Huim said, is really the key because it's so hard to get 2 out of 12. Like you gotta have a little bit of run good to get out of here alive. But yeah, the only true piss boy, you best not forget it. He is the one. Hey, we notice things here. We notice things and did not want to let that go by. Oh man, Joe Burrow. Let's see if anyone takes Joe Burrow or not. His ADP is at 53, so RIP Joe Burrow. Drafters, Mahomes goes. You know what? I'm going to take Trey McBride, and if I don't have my elite tight end week 8, so be it. I think Trey McBride is live to help me get out of week 5 at the very least. This feels like a nice dip on elite tight end. possibly the tight end one. People don't want to say they're worried about Bowers, but I'm worried about Bowers. Usage hasn't been great. The timeshare has been a little swirly, so I'll take a Trey McBride share and feel good about that. Probably still going to do 3 tight ends, even with the elite tight end, but we'll add him to the crew. If I scroll down, I probably need a wide receiver, huh? I only have 1 wide receiver. That doesn't seem good. I would even argue that seems bad. So we're on the clock. We could do Chris Olave. We could do Michael Pittman. I'm pretty into Michael Pittman. I think he is on track for a big season. He just had to deal with Surtain against the Broncos. So we'll do a Pittman team. So far we've got A-Chain, Hurts, Tyreek, Krosky, Merritt, McBride, and Pittman on the team. Where is Bill going? 30. Well, it was me that took him. So don't read too much into that Who Games because I have no idea what I'm doing. Hartman, how do you feel about Purdy and Niners guys in this? I'm definitely fine with Niners guys. I don't know if I'm going to take Purdy. I just don't know if you win enough when you win to risk just eating a 0. That's kind of where I'm at there. His ADP is 53 for Krosky Merritt. When I watched Bowers last night, it felt like just sitting him would have been smarter. He isn't moving too well, and Who Ames agreed. Yeah, I mean, again, I didn't watch very much of the game at all, but he did look like he was not himself at all, and probably should have just rested. And I say that not just as a member of Michael Mayer Nation. I do genuinely think he should have sat out if he was going to be that. He wasn't even a decoy, it felt like. Who Ames, don't forget about Demarcus Robinson in this. He should be a very good pick. Some hidden gems from Who Ames here. Yeah, because he's back from suspension, right? Demarcus Robinson, ADP 213. So I think he's back week 4, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was a 3-game suspension. Either way, not sure how fantasy relevant he'll be regardless, but he probably will be on the team. All right. So we've got a 1-2-2-1. Running back starting to get a little thin. All right. Well, so far so good. Sorry guys, I gotta blow my nose. I'm the captain. Go easy cards. Take Mason. That was who I was going to take at pick 82. Rats. That was absolutely the pick. His ADP is like in the 90s. I didn't want to say his name, but yeah, Mason. Great pick. Go AZ cards. He is who I was eyeing there. All right, give me 1 second. All right. Let's see. Keon Coleman, not too bad. Juwan Jennings seems. Let's take Juwan Jennings. I mean, he's been 15 targets. This, I guess that was by season, but I think Juwan Jennings seems like a good pick, and he's we know he's going to be playing. Deep State Comics takes Joe Burrow. Is this guy autoing? Brutal stuff there from old Deep State Comics. I don't even want to risk it. I'm just taking Cam Scatterbo because I want to live my life the way I want it. And if I'm only going to do one of these teams, I want Scatterbo. I think this is a stale ADP. I think he has to rise from pick 113. It does seem like he's now the back to own in New York, and we're getting him, 1 round ahead of where he was going in BBM stuff. So I will jam that pick in there. Being that we did not get our guy Mason. Yeah, you are the reason that Mason's ADP is steaming up here. Go AZ cards. Let's check in on our friends Mooncat. He's got Neighbors, Breece Hall, Chuba Hubbard, Tony Pollard, and then Waddle, Olave, and then Herbert May double tap. Don't mind that whatsoever. FK Coolers, he's already got 3 quarterbacks. He's got Jonathan Taylor, Josh Allen, Alvin Kamara, Ashton Genty, Devonta Smith, Justin Fields, Keenan Allen, and Bo Nix. So super elite QB room from FK Coolers. Very interesting here. Go AZ card. Scatterbo is I knew Scatterbo wasn't coming back to me, so I I had to jam him there. This is a slappy ass team. Oh yeah. Well, Pittman's not slappy. But yeah, other than Pittman, this is a pretty darn slappy team. I am the KY asking Godwin's ADP. Let me look that up for you. It is, Godwin, 107. So he should be approaching on people's draft boards and possibility there. FK Coolers probably going to need to run pure with this wide receiver room. Yeah, Coolers is strangling us. I know we are being choked out at quarterback. I feel much better about my Hurts pick. Measured slap. Measured slap. Yeah, it's not too slappy. So let's see what Hartman has done. Hartman, after going pure piss boy after the Debo pick, he took Harvey, Judkins, Dak, Warren, and Love. I love the Love pick. I think that's pretty nice at pick 98. I think he should be going higher. Fan and pick 100. You'll love to see that. Go AZ Cards takes Danny Dimes, which is would have been a possibility for me with Mr. Pittman there, of course. All right, let's see what we can see. Board coming back to us. Godwin is intriguing if he comes back healthy. Week 5 though feels a little early. Kyler is probably who I would have taken, even though he's week 8. I think that would have been nice to get. That. And God, what's going on here? Why does every quarterback have a bye week of 8? Jesus. All right, not great, but let's don't want Aaron Jones. Sharps is fine. Don't know if I really want Godwin. I'll make the Godwin bet, I guess, with Hill, Pittman, and Jennings. I think I can afford to take this flyer and hope he's healthy. I'll be honest, I'm a little worried about Igbuka. I don't know. I think he's kind of had some touchdowns buoy him. I didn't think he looked amazing last night. I mean, he's fine, but I don't know if he looks good enough if Godwin's healthy to have fully usurped that job. So that's something I'm thinking about. Let me take Tootin here. I know he's week 8, but I think A-Chain, Krosky, Merritt, Scatabo, Tootin, giga slappy room, but also Tootin does feel like a guy who could potentially bring us to the promised land on this team. Week 8, we would just have to hope that A-Chain, Krosky, Merritt, and Scatabo are enough, I guess. But we really just got to get there first. All right. Let's see. There are so many good QBs who have buys during this contest. Basically, all of them. Yeah, brutal stuff. I'm very glad I have Hurts. That feels like a better pick than I realized at the time. Wanted Love, but Dimes works. Yeah, I mean, Danny Dimes seems like. I wish I had more of him when he was free in like BBM. I regret not going heavier on that. FK Coolers, I done QB felt hectic for sure. Most teams require 3. Yep. Buys are brutal for the specific contest. Absolutely. Hartman, I think it's okay to eat some bye weeks later in your build, especially week 5 or 6, because you're getting a player way higher tier at the pick. You're taking bench guys in theory. I think that's right as well. I would imagine you'd want more week 6 and 7 buys than weeks 5 and 8, but that's just my thing. What is this Truckin' fella doing? Let's check in on Truckin'. He's got a 2.611. Chase Brown, Amari Hampton, Travion Henderson, Cortland Sutton, Pat Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, Isaiah Pacheco, Travis Kelce, Tyrone Tracy, and Sharp. Yes. That team, all it's doing is sucking the life out of the running backs in this room. So I'm very glad I have 4 that I'm happy with. And I did not actually even notice Truckin was doing that. This feels more like a Hartman problem. Going piss boy and wondering why all the running backs are have been taken away. So Kalen, he sees the bye week writing on the wall. He grabs Russell Wilson and Bryce Young. I don't know if Russell Wilson, I would take him in this contest. That does not seem good to me. I feel like he's very live to be benched by that time. Who hames my QB room first? Stroud, Ward, Caleb. Yeah, so you're dealing with a couple buys, but at least you'll have Stroud and Ward the first week. Go AZ Cards. He takes Michael Penix there. Hartman double tapping some tight ends. He goes Hawkins and Ferguson. Go easy cards, Purdy, Penix. So he's up to 3 quarterbacks. Mooncat, Shaheed, Booty. Let's see who he adds. FK Coolers added DJ Moore, Khalil Shakir, Josh Downs. I love the Josh Downs pick. I actually almost took Josh Downs when I took Godwin. So I think that's a nice value you got there. JJ McCarthy, Jared Goff. I mean, I feel like Goff is actually worth owning. He could potentially like carry us into during a down week for Hurts. I know he's week 8 bye, but I feel like I need Hurts to get me through that anyway. So let's do that. And then I think I'm kind of into this Juwan Johnson thing being real. He lines up with the bye week. I'm gonna have, if I make the finals, I'm not gonna have Trey McBride, so I'm gonna want somebody I'm kind of into, and Juwan Johnson fits that billing for me. So we'll add Juwan Johnson to the crew, and the board continues to cycle along. All right, Williams was at 140 because of bye week 5. Yeah, people are nervous. 2.5 with Purdy. I think you'll have Purdy for at least some of this contest. But let's see now. Lions schedule bye week. Let me see who the Lions are playing. So week 5 at Cincy, week 6 at Kansas City, and then at home to Tampa Bay. So I don't actually think Goff is very good in this. He's got 2 outdoor games. I guess Cincy could be good. I just don't like him outdoors. Cincy's defense is terrible, but he's just generally so much worse away from home that I don't like getting 2 out of 3 games away. Not necessarily my favorite here. Go AZ Cards takes Cam Ward because he now needs 4 quarterbacks for some reason. Thanks, Go AZ Cards. Leave some for the rest of us here. So Go AZ Cards, he's up to 4 quarterbacks there. FK Coors, he took Hunter Henry. Mooncat took Wandale. And Io Manor goes to Hartman. So it is so funny seeing these guys, how different this is from BBM. You know, seeing Hunter Henry in the 130s, Wandale 130s. Kind of crazy how we have now had to adjust so rapidly to 2 weeks of data. And Mark Andrews at 134. I don't know what the Steep Spit Date Comics guy is up to, but I think he might be autoing off of old ranks. Joe Burrow, he's not playing at all. JJ McCarthy, we'll see if this sprain is real. Was this a soft benching? I don't know. Mark Andrews looks like a dust ball. So we've got a couple teams that are pretty toast. I think Truckin is I don't know how Truckin survives this with Cortland Sutton as his only wide receiver through 12 rounds. But hey, you never know. You never know. All right, I guess I'll keep the board up so people can see what's going on. Hartman takes Caleb, so hopes that Caleb returns from the Shadow Realm by week 5. Of course, costing a touchdown to the Seahawks in his game. Bookett takes the second quarterback with CJ Stroud. Tua goes. That's a little unfortunate. Tua is who I would have taken. Maybe I should have taken Tua instead of Juwan Johnson there, because quarterback is an utter wasteland. Everybody left pretty much has a bye week during the playoffs here, or during the elimination rounds here. So that's not great. Not too bad of a range of receiver here. I guess I said that because I thought Franklin was going to be here, and Franklin is not going to be here. So yeah, this is tough. These drafts are really tough. Shock, this is 23.9% fault. Yeah, people seem to like these. I'm gonna take Spencer Rattler here. I'm throwing ADP out the window. I know Rattler seems kind of gross, but I do have Juwan Johnson, and I think I'm pretty sure Rattler's gonna be the quarterback, at least for this stretch, and I don't want to eat another bye week. And that was really my only option, to not take another bye. So we'll take Rattler. I know that seems a little wonky, but I think we can. There's enough picks in this range to where I can take a receiver that I'm somewhat happy with here, which is what I think I want to do. Of course, Austin Eckler's out for the year. We'll see if he gets drafted or if the room is awake enough to let him go by. Boy. I'm almost feeling like I can't believe I'm taking Kareem Hunt, but Kareem Hunt annoyingly is like involved in that Chiefs offense. So I will take Kareem Hunt. Just maybe he's, if we survive this week of 2 of 12, he could be a guy that helps push us over the hump in a 1 of 5 or 1 of 4 kind of room, just not being a 0. But man, it feels bad taking Kareem Hunt there. I think there's enough late receivers, at least they are in my head, to where I can probably catch up there. The question is going to be, do we want to make this a 3-5-7-2 or a 3-6-6-3? To me, with this room, probably stop here at running back unless there's some kind of true value. But we'll see what the room provides to us. Truck end, he took yet another non-receiver, Braylon Allen, before taking Jaden Reed at pick 160. I don't know what he's doing. I don't even know if Jaden Reed is going to be playing football in week 5 through 8. But hey, we do what we got to do. FK Coolers, he takes he takes Kincaid and Douglas. Go easy cards with Chig and Rashad White. And Hartman adds Chris Rodriguez, hoping that he gets a little bit of action with Austin Eckler out. Caleb going at 150 is so funny compared to Summer. Yeah, I agree with you, Hartman. I wish I had not been taking so much Caleb, because that bet is looking really grim. But I don't mind it at 150. I mean, I think that's perfectly fine. William says, I think I'm going to smash some of these this week. Yeah. I don't know if I want to spend the time in this enough to get up to speed, to be perfectly honest with you. I forgot just how long that these 12-person 18-round drafts can take. It is absolutely a grind. It is definitely a grind, but it's certainly one where there's a lot of game theory, so it's interesting. I just feel like I'm like a little bit lost as I'm doing this. So maybe it's slightly less fun when you kind of feel like you're just like blindly wandering through a dark forest here. Oh, Who Aim says, I do have 2 Rodriguez teams advancing in the first quarter. Oh, nice. I mean, you got to think he's no longer going to be a game day inactive for the Commanders. All right, coming back to us, tight ends. Yeesh. I mean, all the tight ends have vanished. My goodness gracious. I'm tempted to take Christian Kirk. I'm going to take Christian Kirk and hope that he's actually back and healthy by week 5, because I do think that's actually could be a value if we can get him there. So we've got a couple injured players with Godwin and Kirk. Feels a little dicey, but you know what? We'll see what we can see there. Yeah, it would have been nice if we got Tua on this team. With that said, Calvin Austin goes. Dontavian Wicks just very involved last game. Malik Washington, another guy I would be tempted by here. I'll break the tie to the bye week and to this mini Dolphins bet I have here. So we'll take Malik Washington on the team. So we've got Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff, Spencer Rattler, with Devon Achane, Krosky Merritt, Scatabo, Tootin, Kareem Hunt, wide receiver room of Tyreek Hill, Michael Pittman, Juwan Jennings, Chris Godwin, Chris Kirk, and Malik Washington, and then Trey McBride and Juwan Johnson. Yeah, very. I didn't even. I'll call my own team an interesting team. I think it's an interesting team. Godwin I think this team is going to hinge on Godwin. If Godwin is in, then I'm going to feel pretty good about this, Tyreek, Pittman, Jennings team. That feels a little thin to try to survive a 2 of 10. But if Godwin's back and healthy, then I feel a lot better. If Chris Kirk is back and healthy, I might feel a little bit better. So I think we might be able to cobble 3 wide receiver scores together through that group there. So, I don't mind what we've put together. Mooncat, he takes Ontavian Wicks. Yeah, I like the Wicks pick. Again, I said I was between Wicks and Washington, but if between now and then somehow Tyreek is traded, I think Malik Washington is a smash, and he has enough standalone value to where I'm willing to give him a go there. I mean, Hill or Waddle are live to be injured at some point. Go Easy Cards, we appreciate you taking the time to draft for the people. Well, I mean, I would not be here without you guys, so I will take the plunge and do these when the people demand them. I'm just feel like I'm a little bit in over my head in this 2Q draft. All right, Ray Davis goes, Tesla goes. I actually like these last picks. Blue's an intriguing bet to me because if they actually do work him in, I mean, weeks 5 through 8, he might be a thing. Joe Flacco goes to Hartman. Good luck, Flacco, or Hartman. We'll see if Flacco's playing then. If he is, I absolutely love that in the 17th round. I feel like he's definitely live to be playing at the start of this contest. Not by the end, but QB is so thin, I don't mind the bet. Hartman, Tyreek is reaching AB levels of crash out risk. Yep. I was really hoping the Dolphins would win because I feel like the crash out risk becomes like exponentially higher as the season wears on here. Let's see, Theo Johnson. Okay, Mooncat takes Theo Johnson, who I was considering taking. Bigsby goes, I kind of want just a chaperone receiver. I like Diami Brown. I'm just going to take Diami Brown, and then we'll take a tight end late. I know he's not going to play week 8, but if I only had one. I didn't have any receivers in week 8. So if all I'm missing week 8, I guess I'm missing a lot. I'm missing Diami, Trey McBride, and Goff. The Goff pick was a little weird, but I kind of panicked at quarterback. But again, we are going to be relying on Jalen Hurts on this team. My God, wide receiver. This is so disgusting. I don't even want any of these guys. I'm like staring at this and I don't even know what to do. I think I'm just gonna take Pat Freiermuth. I mean, Freiermuth is involved enough to where he could just randomly spike a touchdown. I don't know. I didn't want AJ Barner because I would have taken him, but he also has a week 8 bye. So then I only have Juwan Johnson. Small final, you might not need many points out of your tight end. He shouldn't be a big 0. He's more as cover for us having McBride. I don't love that pick, but I would have taken Tyler Johnson there, but Mooncat had smartly grabbed him. So I think he got the last helicopter out of Saigon. So this is the team. We got Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff, Spencer Rattler, Devon A. Chain, Krosky Merritt, Cam Scatterbo, Byshell Tootin, Kareem Hunt, Tyreek Hill, Michael Pittman Jr., Juwan Jennings, Chris Godwin, Chris Kirk, Malik Washington, and Diami Brown, and then McBride, Juwan Johnson, and Freiermuth at tight end. I think it's a perfectly reasonable team. I wish my second QB was something more reasonable than Goff, but not too bad. Let's see how Mooncat ended his team. So he took Johnson and then Ford. Interesting selection, that Ford there, being that I think most of us think he's kind of on the way out. But you never know what's going to happen there. I certainly feel like they're live to potentially trade Ford. I haven't heard that discussed, but I could see Jerome Ford. I think he took a pay cut to be there. But I feel like Jerome Ford on like the Bears is like a 7th round pick. So I don't know. I don't mind that Ford pick. I think there's some interesting stuff. Miles Sanders, Woody Marks from FK Coolers. Miles Sanders, of course, scoring a touchdown. If Jaden Blue continues to be nothing, Miles Sanders could be something. Mick Weapon and the Demarcus Robinson bet for Go AZ Cards. So he listens to Who Hames on Demarcus Robinson, and Hartman ending with Flacco and Will Shipley chasing. He says Tank Bigsby, who I do not care. I do not care. Let me catch up with chat. Did you see where Tua missed him and Tyreek tried running off the field? Oh no. Yeah, he was getting fired up off the ball. They met up for it. It was all smiles again. Dude's on the brink. Oh God. I bet they trade or they just hit QJ with the suspension still. Yes, that makes sense. If they do suspend, so you use the other QJ, you confuse me. But yes, Judkins gets suspended and forward does make sense. Where did Trey Benson go? Let me check after this. I can't stop clicking forward. I already made my forward bet. Oh no. Hartman just can't control his emotions. Could have gotten 10 perfect passes before bad one. That is true. Benson 142, too late, tried to push him. Okay, so yep, there was Benson there at pick 142. I feel like that's a pretty sharp click. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for getting me to 200 subs. This was such a fun stream. We got to do a 2Q. We got to run a couple dog bowls. I like the teams we drafted. And all of them, really. I think maybe there was one BR that I didn't think was the best, where I kind of doubled up on Bengals, but who knows? Who knows? Hartman says, Judkins already met with the league already. Who Aim's asking what suspension? Possibility of Judkins getting suspended, which does actually, now that I think about it, maybe Ford is a little bit intriguing in this contest. So certainly worth the risk. If that suspension gets announced, he'll rise up. But yeah, a lot of stale ADPs in this contest, a lot of room to take advantage of stuff. Turpin goes undrafted. I think he's, worth a click. He's not in bye week hell. Very interesting stuff. Maybe Higbee would have been good, but again, week 8, a lot of week 8 stuff. Judkins. Yeah, thanks, Sue Hams. Judkins is not QJ. Thank you, my fishies, for these God Squad. Hartman. I am not suggesting that whatsoever. I actually think people see me streaming and drafting and they try to hop in and scoop the EV. But everybody, again, thank you so much for coming in, hanging out. I will be on tomorrow. And again, I'll see y'all later. Take care.